Hello, welcome to episode 13 of the 70's Silver Art Bar Show. My name is Silver Art, and I'm the host. See, the bars you see here are a few of the bars that I bought during this month of February. Just want to share a few with you. Just want to start by saying that most of these, actually all of these, are very common. In other words, you'll see a bunch of them on eBay, some for various premiums, usually between $25 and $30. Maybe a little more than that. Just depends. But I'm going to start with these two right here. These two are Patrick Mint bars that were minted in 1973. Type 1 reverse, big lettering. Type 2 reverse, small lettering. So, I mean, that's some of these bars, for example, the Covered Wagon, 1973 Madison Mint. They made many of these, but they came up with different reverse types. Some had the small lettering like this, and some had the large lettering such as this. So I mean, it's just different stuff, different reverse types that were used to mint these. I mean, I looked in the guidebook, the Archie Kid 5th edition guidebook, and they had, I think, a Covered Wagon bar, I think, a different reverse type. I think 3 or 4 different reverse types. So it's interesting to see how these were minted, and I thought it was interesting to share that. This one right here, I believe, the guidebook listed as sterling silver. It's a Gorham Sterling, 1973. As you can see, or maybe once I get it in focus, this one is 1776 to 1976, which is a bicentennial. And even though it says 1976, according to the guidebook, it was minted in 1973 by Gorham Sterling. And it's a Minute Man. That's the theme. There's a Minute Man. On the reverse, it says mintage, limited mintage of 10,000. It's kind of hard to see that. Let me see if I can focus on that. You can't really see it from here, but it's a limited mintage of 10,000, which actually that's on a relative basis, that's a high mintage for an art bar back then. Almost the same mintage as like a Hamilton Mint. Hamilton Mint made 5,000, 10,000 bars per bar. So, and now here's the General, the Adriatic 31, the Cleveland Cable Car. This one was minted in 1972. This one was minted in 1973. And this one was minted in 1972. As with the Patrick Mint, you have different reverse types. I think all these were blanks. Or blank reverse, but a lot of the Madison Mint ones that I've seen and that I have personally have Madison Mint stamped on the middle of the reverse side. So, like the Patrick Mint, the Madison Mint made the same bar. Like, for example, the General, I think, has like 3 reverse types, different reverse types. Here's one, Great Lakes Mint, 1973. Happy Thanksgiving. Don't really do holiday themed bars much, but I get them fairly cheaply. Paid generic silver premiums for them, which is good. So that's I'll be able to pick up stuff for a decent price, for a very good price, and I'm happy with that. And like I said, these are the few. All these are fairly common, so you're not these are nothing that would for example, get $100 for. I mean, these probably would go for like between 25, probably 12. Actually, I'd probably say between 23 and $33. Just depends. But they're not rare bars. Not in this case, there's not, because I picked up several bars that have a lot lower mintages than this, and although the guidebook doesn't list the exact mintage of these Madison Mint bars, It's a high mintage because if you look on eBay and you do an eBay search on these particular bars, you'll see many listings of these bars. So that just indicates to me that there's a lot of these listed on eBay. So a lot of these were minted. And I'm also guessing that there were a whole lot of them minted back in the early 70's, which I suspect a lot of them were melted down during the big melt of the late 70's, early 80's. So I mean, there's a lot of these still out here. I mean, even though that's all relative because it's hard to find old bars now, but when you find old silver art bars from the 70's, such as these right here, you'll usually come across these type of bars. The Madison Mints, the Patrick Mints, sometimes Great Lakes. Those are the common ones, which I don't mind buying common ones since spot silver's low. You know, spot silver's like what, 1630, 1650 in that range. So usually I can get these for generic silver premiums. I like stuff like this. I mean, it's just my hobby. As I mentioned in many episodes, it's what I like to do. And of course, I also have a business that I specialize in selling these. Not just these, but rare bars as well. But I just wanted to show you this. I just wanted to share basically what I bought. A few of the bars that I bought during this month of February. A few of the pickups that were interesting. Different themes. Holiday themes. Trains. You got cars. You got bicentennial. Just a little bit of everything. It's, like I said, it's interesting. It's actually, to me, it's fun because you never know what old bars you'll find. So I enjoy going out and looking for stuff like this. You know, sometimes, now I'll be honest, sometimes I come up empty-handed. And sometimes, you know, you make a lot of phone calls and they don't have anything. But every once in a while, when they have some and you go down there and look and see what they have, you'll be occasionally surprised. At least in my case, I'm surprised, pleasantly so, when I find stuff like this. So some good stuff. While it's common, it's still solid because you don't find many old bars now. They're very hard to find, period. So, I mean, it takes, I mean, I'm very persistent. I have to be, you know, to be able to find bars like this because a lot of these bars, like I said, were either melted down in the big melt of the 80's, early 80's, or they were just kept by collectors. So you're not going to see many of these. And if you do, it's going to be stuff like this. Fairly common stuff. And along with the holiday themed bars, you'll find a lot of those, relatively speaking. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to share this with you, episode 13 of the 70's Silver Art Bar Show. Just sharing a few of the finds for this month of February. And that's pretty much it. And goodbye.